It's what they call the widowmaker.
PNNL senior fire protection engineer David Wyatt just celebrated 5 years since he had a near-fatal heart attack on the Richland campus.
Had I not been in a place to get such prompt and excellent care, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Wyatt was supposed to be in a plan of the day meeting in Emsall, but on the walkover from LSL2, he began feeling like something was wrong.
I had watched a television program the night before where a character in the show was having a heart attack.
He recognized the signs and symptoms from seeing an episode of the reality show Deadliest Catch, where the ship's captain has a heart attack at sea.
I really don't like to inconvenience people. I don't like to interrupt. So I went back and sat on the couch and I just waited, and I thought, certainly somebody will take notice of my situation.
Several people coming out of the meeting walked right by without noticing he was in distress. Then 2 colleagues happened to see that Wyatt was in trouble. Work team leads Chris Flocker and Rich Aubrey came to his aid.
And it wasn't until Rich and Chris came out of the conference room and looked me in the eye and said, something's wrong here. We need to get you some help.
Dave was sitting on this couch and he didn't look good. He was pretty pale, kind of hunched over, looked like he was laboring to breathe a little bit.
Wyatt was reluctant to have Aubrey call for help, but Aubrey persisted.
I just said, I think it's better to call and not need him than have you die here. I called 2400. They immediately got me tied in with 911. You know, immediately your mind goes to, I don't even know if he's going to live.
One of Wyatt's arteries was fully blocked. Doctors in Cadlec's cath lab placed a stent, which meant he was out of danger.
And I was out of surgery in less than 45 minutes from the original 911 call.
Michael Van Beek was the driver of the ambulance that raced towards Wyatt that day.
Well, I will always remember this just because I knew David. Thank goodness his coworkers recognized that this was something serious.
Van Beek says that 911 dispatchers work in tandem with PNNL's Security Operations Center when they respond to the Richland campus.
And they do an amazing job of getting us to the buildings that we need to, and they are crucial in getting us to the patient's side as quickly as possible.
Josh Smith was a paramedic in training when the call came in. He says had Aubrey not called for help, the outcome for Wyatt was certain.
We wouldn't see David here today.
Van Beek and Smith cautioned people not to minimize potentially serious symptoms.
Oftentimes, especially males, we get embarrassed about things like this, and we might go into a bathroom or we might go into our office and try to just play it off like this is no big deal, I'm going to get through this.
Time is really of the essence, you know. Every minute goes by, you lack oxygen to your heart muscle, that muscle dies, we can't get it back.
The care Wyatt's colleagues showed to him was the key to his survival and his successful recovery. It demonstrates the we culture of PNNL.
It takes a system to save a life. It takes the patient to recognize that something's off today. It takes somebody else to maybe even prompt them, hey, you don't look good, you know, what's going on? And then it takes them to not be scared to activate that 911 system. And that day, everything was perfect.
We're around each other more often than we're around our family. And just like with your family, we should be watching out for each other.
Wyatt's wife, Paige, says her family is still together because of PNNL's culture of caring.
Now I see and genuinely know what this culture is. Knew it had strength, didn't realize how genuine it was. PNNL saved my husband's life.
You can't ask for a better place in the world to be in from a safety standpoint. And I hope I never have another heart attack, but if I do, this is the place to do it.
So don't be afraid to reach out to people. Get your nose into their business. It might save their life.